Hello, welcome to the showcase tutorial and explanation of this door I made. It's only me this time, sadly, but as you can see it is a 2x2 seamless glass piston door. 2 high, 2 wide, 19 long, 76 blocks total. It is very small, has the occasional derp due to the randomness of detector rails. This side is just a normal piston stack, and this side is just a pusher with a double. So, yeah, I guess we can get into the tutorial. So, you're gonna need, obviously, blocks, repeaters, an input device. Pretty sure it can be a button with a torch, some observers, a furnace minecart, a detector rail, a fence gate. It's not in the door, but you'll need one. A carpet, redstone lamp, sticky pistons, and normal pistons. Yeah. So you're gonna start off with, let me grab this real quick, your glass. So this is your door frame. You're gonna put 2 glass to the side, and 2 more door blocks. So these will be visible in the door, so make sure they look nice. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks out. Break these 3. That one's also gonna be temporary. So put a piston stack of 3 here and here. These are all normal pistons, so they do not retract their blocks. Ignore the background. Gonna place a big W of blocks, like so, lining up with this. And this is your input block. So you're just also gonna put repeater on 1, repeater on 1, so just don't touch the delays. And this is literally the entire circuit. All you have to do is flip the lever, and the door's closed. As you can see, this is also your wall. And this is what I meant by door blocks, because they're visible through the glass. Untie the lever. I'm just also going to push this back real quick, because it's gonna get in the way later. You're going to have sticky piston, sticky pistons, sorry, like so. This is a double extender, so what this will do is extend out, retract, and then this will do that. So what you're going to do is get blue wool, put a block here, observer facing downwards, so it does not power the block. It's just sort of looking at the block and gonna see nothing other than it moving. Observer facing out of the block, or that observer rather. Block, lamp, observer. So these 2 blocks do have to be solid. The door blocks don't necessarily have to be solid, except for this one. This one does have to be solid. Continuing, we have observer facing out of the lamp, observer facing, that observer facing the doorway, or pointing towards the doorway. Block to tick. Block that can be powered, that'll power this input, as well as this dust to power this. This will already be extended, so it's not locational or anything like that. So this dust will power both this block and the pistons while they're here. So we'll do something like this. This dust will power the block. If you're 1.16, make sure it's across. So that'll power this wall block. This will retract. This will also retract, and then this dust will power again, retracting its pistons. That bit might be locational, but I do not believe so. So what you're gonna do is just go 3 blocks out, actually 4, 5. Piston here, observer pointing towards the piston, so its face will detect this block here, and this observer here. This, ignore that. This will make a clock, so this observer will detect this observer powering, and then that'll make a clock. like so. You're going to have a normal piston here, a block here, oh, not that, and you could have really any block that's not that's less than 3/10 of a block. So I'm just gonna use a carpet. Pink please, and this should also be pink, by the way. I'm gonna use glass because it looks nicer. These two blocks can't be glass, sadly, so they have to be solid. So you're gonna have a cart here, and this is where the detector rail comes in. So you're gonna need a detector rail here. So to power this detector rail, you're gonna have to push a minecart into it. But usually minecarts would clip onto the detector rail, such that if it's not entirely on a block, it will clip onto the detector rail. But if you push the cart against, push a furnace minecart in this case, or any minecart for that matter, into a fence gate or fence, specifically those blocks, I don't think they can be cobble walls. Please let me know if that is the case. So if you have hitboxes on, you can see, thank you, that this blue line is where the cart is facing, and that's also the center of the cart. And you'll notice that it's on this block, not this block. The way that the detector rail works is that it will try to see if the rail, or not the rail, yes, the rail will see if the center of the block, the cart, is above the block. I cannot speak. So if it is, the cart will clip onto the rail, but if not, it will just still power if it's close enough, but it will still like not clip onto the cart. So this can actually be glass, but I'm gonna make it wool, for the sake of beauty. So if I were to drop this down, you'll see that it powers, right? So this detector rail does power, and the cart will, just keep it powered when this is pushed over. And I'm just gonna break that. So the detector rail is in line with the glass. Block up, repeater on one tick, not there, there, and a note block as an updater to this piston. I don't know if that note block is necessary, but I like to keep it there for reliability's sake. So if we power the door, you also don't have to reset anything. It's auto done. So you'll see that the cart powers the repeater, powering these pistons. And you'll notice that these pistons aren't extending because of the fact that these pistons are extended here. So when these pistons are extended, these pistons can power. So no pistons can power, these can't, or these can't for that matter. And if we weren't to have this observer clock here, these pistons would never update. Like, they would just never update, they'd still power, and these would still be retracted. But with the clock, that would update this piston, which updates this piston, which pushes this entire side over by one, and then the double will fire. And you also notice that this isn't clocking, because this is a redstone lamp. A redstone lamp is cool, because it will turn on instantly, but turn off after delay. You'll see, on instantly, off with delay. And we can use that to our advantage, because if you give it a 1 tick, it will give 2 pulses, or a very long pulse rather, and you can turn that into 2 pulses with an observer. So if you were to power this with an observer, you'll see that it stays on for a while, right? And if you clock it with an observer clock, it will just stay on indefinitely. And in some cases, depending on how the observer clock is updated, it can make it such that this lamp does turn off for sub-tick delays, which isn't fun because then all these inputs would clock and make the door unreliable. But yeah, it just works this way. and this powering will give this lamp a 2 tick, thus lengthening the pulse even more, so that this observer gives these 2 pistons 2 delayed 1 ticks, and this doesn't clock because the observers can't detect normal blocks from powering. They can detect things like pistons and droppers and blocks from powering, but not normal blocks. This will also get an output from this observer and these this row of blocks moving, powering this 2 tick, powering the dust, doing the 2 proper moves. You'll see here, it retracts. And you'll notice that when I first powered the door over there, it did a derp, but here it didn't. And that's because detector rails have this pseudo randomness where it's sort of random but not necessarily. It's weird. So detector rails will turn on instantly always, but turn off with a random amount of delay. And depending on that delay, this sticky piston will still be powered, clocking this a bit more and causing this to derp. It doesn't break anything, which is good. So that's the door. It's very, very simple. I say very, very. It uses like cool mechanics, and you can just have a torch here with a button as well. It has to be wooden. That's okay. Or maybe not. Oh no. I don't know how to fix this. Yeah, this is why. Oh yeah, if this happens, you're going to want to turn this off. I'm just currently messing around with this door live on camera. Turning this off, and then if the door's ever spammed, all you have to do is update this top thing, and it auto does it. So if I were just to spam this a lot, and it breaks like that, all you have to do is update this observer piston, and it'll auto do the entire thing. In some cases, you'll just need to power this with a button as well. So, yep, that is the tutorial explanation. Very, very simple. If you ever want to use this detector rail trick, all you have to do is just push the furnace minecart into a rail that has the fence gate on the same side of the detector rail. I think I just noticed that, but it's fine. So yeah, that is the door done, and hope you can follow along. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.